I would venture to say that more women are going to come out and vote for Donald Trump in 2020 than 2016.
That's President Trump's daughter-in-law, Lara, launching his Women for Trump coalition in suburban Philadelphia in July to shore up support in this crucial group of voters. The president narrowly defeated Hillary Clinton in Pennsylvania in 2016 by less than 1%. But Republicans have been losing voters in the suburbs. So to keep Pennsylvania red, Mr. Trump will need to hold on to and increase support among women in counties like those in the Philadelphia suburbs. We sat down with 8 women from across the political spectrum at the Gem restaurant in Norristown, a suburb of Philly. If everybody would just go around.
My name is Debbie. I am a little disillusioned with politics, but I am a Democrat and I plan on voting.
My name is Cynthia. I'm an independent and I'm registered as a Republican.
My name is Mary Lou, and I will be voting for President Trump in 2020.
I'm Nelly Jimenez. I'm an independent, and I'm not going to be voting for Trump.
Mary Ellen DiGregorio, voted Democrat before and flipped the switch to Trump.
I'm Julia. I'm a registered Republican. I voted for President Trump not because he had the best manners, but because he was the most qualified candidate.
Sherelle, I'm a Democrat and I have some conservative ideals.
Melinda, I've been a registered Republican for a long time, but I switched to the Democrat Party last year. But I don't like to be labeled as either a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an American voter.
How many of you are still persuadable?
Listen, I'm almost persuadable. I do not vote straight party ticket.
Could there be a Democrat you could vote for?
Anything is possible.
Okay. Could you vote for President Trump?
No.
No. Could you vote? No.
No.
Could you?
Could I vote for a Republican? Sure.
Yes.
Same here.
Show of hands. Who thinks the country is headed in the right direction? What do you like about what's happening?
Oh, I like the fact that, my portfolio looks pretty nice right now. I can make my taxes next year because, as time goes by, cost of living does not match the cost of, really living.
Right. Julia, your hand went up too.
I would say his international policy has been bold and effective in ways that we never anticipated. Getting rid of ISIS, getting rid of Soleimani, getting rid of al-Baghdadi. I mean, bold. I will tell you personally, I am a Zionist. For a president to so boldly stand for Israel is very important to me, and I'm a Christian, by the way. And finally, national security is critical for me. Strong borders.
So I want to address something about the border. One of the things that has bothered me is this humanization of people in the border and how people are mistreated.
They're
and the children
is what you're saying.
Dehumanized, yes. So there is a lot of issues for me there about racial profiling. The issue of the border is one that I can't forget or forgive.
I have to agree with you. I think that Donald Trump is allowing people to make the decision to mistreat people at the border, to have racially charged marches, because a man has proven to be powerful and to take a hard stance on something.
Do you like that part of it?
I do.
You like that he's taking hard stands?
On some things.
Yes.
But he's not taking the hard stance on the racial issues, which are very close to me because I'm a black female, right? We need for him to take a hard line and say, hey, listen, we don't act like that here.
What's the issue that really is going to determine who you vote for this year?
I think the economy is very important.
Economic fairness is very important to me. I'm not a Bernie Sanders supporter. I'm not an Elizabeth Warren supporter.
Right.
But I believe that the Tax Act of 2017 was skewed in favor of the half of the 1%.
And the corporations as well.
Exactly.
The super wealthy.
Exactly.
I get that.
Who's leaning Democratic at this point? So there's 4 of you. Have you picked a candidate yet?
No.
I have.
Who have you picked?
Biden.
Okay. Why?
Honestly, the lesser of the evils. Right now.
He's got past experience.
I think
That's another thing.
Okay, Melinda?
I'm definitely voting for a Democrat, and who can best beat Trump?
How important is that for
me as a
the 4
Democrat.
Democrats here?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I do think Biden's probably at the top of the list, but I'm still looking at the other candidates also.
So one of my concerns as an independent is that I'm going to have to vote, certainly not for Trump, but for the less evil of the Democratic Party or whoever else shows up.
So you're disappointed in your choices.
I am disappointed. I don't have choices. I don't feel that I have someone who's going to move me.
But you do have the option to do a write-in. I did a write-in in 2016. My family took issue with me that I was complicit in Trump's election, but it was a matter of conscience.
I want somebody I can look up to, somebody that has dignity, somebody that's not bullying.
I don't see Trump as bullying, though. I see him challenging because of the ridiculous that goes on sometimes that you're right, he's not a politician. I thought it was refreshing to find a businessman who made himself a millionaire want to work for me. That's what.
Yes,
so
not
but I
not
can't
agree with you,
salary.
I do have to ask, don't you think he's very thin-skinned?
Listen, my husband's thin-skinned and I whack-a-doodle, and I'm still with him 26 years.
Well, I think a politician needs to be thicker-skinned and not excoriate those who disagree with him.
I will tell you, there's a long line of
there's a lot of
Republicans
fear.
who have failed because they've taken the high road and they've been buried by it. And I think, I'm not saying that this necessarily appeals to me, but I think Trump appeals to a lot of people because he punches back.
So Donald Trump isn't everyone's cup of tea, without a doubt, without a doubt. I'm going to vote for him. I don't like everything he says. I don't need him to be like me. I need to be safe, and I need to be able to know that my economy, for my friends, my family, is solid.
Is President Trump going to be reelected?
I think he will be.
I think he will be.
You think he will be?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Super
If you're Team Trump watching that, you're feeling pretty good.
Well-
You're saying, those are my people. If you're trying to remove President Trump, you're saying, I got some work to do.
Well, 4 Trump voters at that table, 4 people who will not vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out who they will vote for.
Yeah.
That's very much up in the air. A couple people at the end came up to me and said, I'm very intrigued by Bloomberg, which was interesting.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
He is starting to pick up steam, Anthony.
Well, he's certainly being looked at.
His
That's-
strategy is very different. We'll see if it's going to
I
pay
don't
off.
know if you're Team Trump, if you're feeling so good hearing those voters, because what they're saying, they're not saying that they think he's a good person or trustworthy or honest.
Correct.
They just think that certain things are going well, and therefore they're going to.
They're willing to overlook the things they don't like.
The
So
character
you're feeling
and the
good, though,
behavior.
Tony, because you know they're going to vote for you. Even though sometimes they have to hold their nose and turn the other way, they're going to vote for you.
Yeah. They're not saying that
So-
they like him or think he's
Yeah.
a good man, though. That's interesting.
But that's really
Which
the
matters.
election.
Yeah.
Which
The election is going to be fought among voters like that. It really is.
Yeah, indeed.
That was so interesting.
Yeah.
All smart women at the table like that, too.